You can even roll your calf muscles as well. This way, how you point or flex your foot will also help you to hit different fibers. I like to point. I feel it a little bit more rather than flex, or even double up and roll your calves this way. It does require some more upper body strength. It's like an exercise of its own. But oh wow, I can really feel in the belly of the calf there. I've got some trigger points. You know, if you're walking on the pavement a lot, you're going to get those trigger points, those knots. So, or even if you wore some high heels, ladies, right? Sometimes we have to wear the cute shoes here and there. And I know I pay for it when I wear heels, but the calves suffer. And so we have to deal with what we've done, right? Now, sometimes if you want a little bit deeper of a massage, dealing with the difference between this foam roller and this one is that this one has nodules. So you're going to have a deeper tissue massage with something like this versus like this. You see the difference? So if you're new to foam rolling, go with this one first, not that one, with that one. And then if you're more of a seasoned massager, you can try this one as well, and it's going to get deeper. Some people like massage very deep.
That's right.
I tell you, this thing years ago, I sustained a really bad injury as a young athlete. I was about 16, 17 years old. And long story short, some muscles in my hip got so tight that the muscles actually ripped part of my hip bone off. It just broke. And I couldn't walk for a while. And I was in a wheelchair and so forth. But eventually, I was young and I healed. But I had to have one of these things for therapy. And I had to actually roll out the side of my leg where my hip was affected so that these muscles could actually relax because they had gone through trauma and they weren't going to let go unless I went in there and did some tissue massage with it. And the physical therapist recommended that I did. And so what I did was he gave me one of these to take home and he said, Lauren, do it every day for such and such time. And I actually hated doing it because it hurt so bad, but it was the one thing that got me back to running again as a young athlete. And I was so grateful because I love to run. It was the only thing that could get me going back because of the injury, right? So no matter how old you are, you have an injury, you're going to have to address some of those muscles that went through trauma. And so this is what I did. And I rolled the side. And some of us run a lot, right? And we have IT band syndrome, or we have pain in the knees, so forth, or maybe you just do a lot of walking. At any rate, we need to get in here and get some of that stuff broken up. Yeah, so before, I'll just add this, before you go for your surgery, okay, pray about it, and then get a massage and see if that doesn't help. There's a great book called the Trigger Point Therapy Workbook that we have referred to a lot, and so many powerful stories on people who started getting massages and then did some self-myofascial relief and didn't have to get surgery, overcame their frozen shoulder, didn't have to get that hip replacement after all. You know, we have to ascertain the cause and say, why is this happening? And pray and ask the Lord to show you where the problem is, and he will help you to fix it. Another really good course is,
I was just going to say, the body heals itself. Isn't that beautiful?
That's right. Under the right conditions, it can heal. And you give it the right conditions, God will give you the wisdom to know how to take care of yourself. Another really good book is a book called The Complete Guide to Foam Rolling by Kyle Stull, S-T-U-L-L, Kyle Stull. There's pictures. There's why we use foam rollers. Foam rollers and these devices have been around for a long time. And there was a story of a doctor who actually would cut off the table leg and of the table, and it had little divots in it, and he would give it to his patients to go and massage their muscles because they had muscular pains. And so you'll read about the history in that book, and also there's pictures and demonstrations on how to use one of these, as well as the other tools like balls and rollers and different things like that. That might interest you.
Absolutely. Well, do you have any others? Because the next thing I was going to ask about was, since this is pre-recorded, we don't have people chiming in with questions, but what are some questions you often get? Maybe a question or two that comes to mind as you take guests at LSR who come for the retreat experience, and they're figuring this exercise thing out. What are some of the questions that you anticipate? And then also, as you see the QR code, folks, just a reminder of that big discount on the detox course. So don't forget about that. Make sure to take advantage of that big discount. But also, questions. And then also, is there a particular oil or product in the LSR store that is best for adding to the benefits of the physical massage?
Yes, to answer your question about something in our store to add to the benefits of massage would be the fractionated coconut oil. It's nice because it's liquid consistency, and so you can put that in a pump bottle and use for full body massage. You can even go the extra mile and put in a little bit of the essential oil in there, perhaps lavender or any essential oil of your choice. Probably don't want to use oregano. But anything that's calming, tranquility is really, really nice.
Even
Peppermint.
Peppermint. You can use lemongrass. That's especially helpful with cramping. We also have what's called a deep blue rub, which is doTERRA makes the deep blue rub. And we have that in a blue bottle, which is very good. I've used that myself, and it acts sort of like an icy hot. So those are some things that I can think about for that. Yeah, as far as massage. And then I was just thinking to myself about the questions that some of the guests have for us. And Aaron and I were talking about this earlier, that some people think that you can take flab and directly transform it into muscle simply by doing a certain exercise for that muscle group. Like, doing 1,000 crunches every day to lose that belly fat, right? Is that going to happen? No, it won't. So sadly to say, because we can't spot reduce, can we?
Right.
So what I'll say here is one of the best ways that I've read about and have seen in my own experience with exercise is that total body workouts, interval training is one of the best ways to burn fat and to keep it off.